Hello and welcome to Her Stories. This is a revamped Her Stories. It is a new approach. We will take a story that we feel is of importance to women from anywhere in the world and share it with our audience because there is a message in the story. Welcome to Her Stories. This week, introducing a woman that I've had my eyes on for months now. Every day I look out for her. She comes at the same time, and most days I rush over to see her. Her name is Roxy, and she's the hot dog vendor who plies her buns, sausages, hamburgers, and snacks nearby my office. Check the City of Edmonton website and you will find a list of approved mobile food vendors. This list shows the vendors whose applications have been reviewed and approved. The list is updated often and includes the expiration date of each vendor. The expiration date is when one of the vendor's required documents will expire. I checked for Roxy's, and there she was, Rox Dogs, Ed 443, licensed up until March 31st, 2024. And that's about when she'll be returning to this spot, close to my office next year. Yes, Rox Dogs closed for the winter yesterday, but I caught up with her to share a bit of her story with you. People to you, because like I said, I've been watching you. We moved here in June.
Okay.
And then, I was asking about where can we get lunch in these parts, and aside from at the Dairy Queen, what's it called? The Tim Hortons. And we do a lot of skip the dishes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then they said, there's a lady who sells hot dogs. So, since I came out here, and I'm not a big hot dog eater, but it's so convenient.
It is.
Yeah. So how long have you been at this spot?
I have been here 11 years now. Yeah.
At this spot?
At this spot.
So
yeah.
this spot is lucrative. How did you find this spot?
Basically, when I first started out, I was at another location, and at first it was good, and then it wasn't good. So I needed to find another spot, and I've lived on the south side my whole life, pretty much. So I just kind of was driving around, and I went, oh, this is a good spot. There's a side road where people can park, and at that time, the only food here was Tim Hortons. So there was nothing else, no A&W, no Subway, no nothing. So I applied for my spot and I got it, and I've been here ever since.
So you said you applied for the spot. So
yeah.
Most of the people who watch this are in Jamaica, and we just stop anywhere and set up a shop there, or more or less.
Right.
Here in Canada, in Alberta, if you could briefly tell us what you had to go through to get this spot.
Quite the process to start with. I had to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork. I had to draw a little map as to exactly where I wanted to park. I had to submit all of that information, and the City of Edmonton Transportation had to come out and take a look to make sure I wasn't going to be blocking traffic or sidewalks or anything like that. And when they figured out that yes, it was a good side road, not a lot of traffic on it, they said, yeah, okay, you can go there. And so I've been
So what prevents anybody else, or is there anything that prevents another person to get a spot beside you, or is there a...
I have had people try to come and do business, and I don't have an issue with it. They can't have the same food as me.
Okay.
But if they have a different food, I had a guy who was selling pizzas at one time. Another truck, they had Indian food, like curry and rice and all that kind of stuff. But I've been here so long, I have a very loyal customer base, and I make sure that I have the food in someone's hand in minutes, whereas they made to order.
Okay.
So if someone has to wait 15 or 20 minutes for their pizza, they don't have time for that. They got to get back to work. So they really weren't successful here, and this is only a lunch spot. I'm here at usually 10:30 in the morning, and I'm usually gone between 2 and 2:30 because before that, people are working, they don't have time to come to grab something to eat. After that, they're on their way home, going to spend time with their families, have dinner and stuff. So really just lunchtime. So big trucks, food trucks and trailers, they need more business than that. So whereas me, I'm tiny, I'm small, I don't need a lot of business.
So you said that you've been here for 11 years. Prior to that, were you somewhere else, or what were you doing before?
Prior to that, I wasn't doing this. I was, I have a university education. I actually worked in the computer industry for over 20 years. But you're sitting at a desk and you're in a building and you don't get to enjoy the sunshine, and you're locked in a room. You're talking to coworkers but nobody else. So I thought, yeah, this isn't the life for me anymore. I was bored and I needed something else to do. So a friend of mine had said her sister bought a hot dog cart and was selling at baseball games for kids and stuff like that. And I thought, that's a really cool idea. So I started looking into it and I decided to go for it. And now I'm out, I'm in the fresh air, enjoying the sunshine, meeting all kinds of people every single day. And I love to talk, as you can tell.
As I can tell.
So when people come here, while I'm making their food, I'm chatting with them, asking how their day is and stuff like that. And it's just a lot. It just brightens my day every day.
Okay, so without disclosing how much, but do you make a good living?
I make a decent living. I mean, I am very fair with my prices.
Yes, you are.
I would rather someone be able to afford to eat here multiple times a week than only be able to afford to eat here once a week or every other week, right? To me, good food needs to be at good prices so that everybody can enjoy it, right? So I'm not getting rich by any means, but I do okay. I still work in my off season because I am fair with my prices, and if I don't work, I get bored.
So what's your off season?
I work this cart May to October, depending on when the weather changes and gets ugly and cold. In my off season, which is basically November to April, I work at a grocery store.
Okay. So do you have a family, meaning children, young children, or?
No, my daughter is grown. She's 31 and she lives in Victoria, so she's fully self-sufficient and on her own, productive member of society. I'm very proud. I'm divorced, so I don't have a husband, but I do have the most wonderful dog in the whole wide world.
What kind of dog?
She's a Black Lab German Shepherd cross. Her name is Miss Molly, and she sits at home waiting for me to come home and stuff like that. And yeah.
You're now approaching tomorrow is your last day.
Tomorrow is my last day for the season.
So when do you start your other job?
Well, this year I decided I'm going to take a month and have a holiday for myself because I haven't had one in a while. So I'll be starting my other job in December.
Okay. Yeah. Just as we wrap up here, okay, so my organization, we're focused on women, mainly in Jamaica, as I said to you. A little bit here, we do a little bit here, but mostly Jamaica. So what would be, you as a woman, running your own business, I don't care the size of the business, what is your word for women who want to do something like you did, set your own course, set your own path? What would be your advice, suggestion? And it doesn't matter where they are.
Just go for it. Don't be afraid because if you fail, you learn lessons no matter what, and you will be able to take those and use them throughout your entire life. Fear is one of our biggest factors in just standing still. So if you have the courage to do it, you can succeed, and don't let anybody else talk you out of it. So many people have said to me when I was first starting out, they said, oh, that's a pretty big risk, you've got an investment that's going to cost you money and you might not like it. I love it. I've been here 11 years.
11 years.
And I'm 58
Well, I want to wish you personally all the best and thank you. I am not a big hot dog eater, but as Roxy sees me coming across every day, she knows she wants her chips and her pop.
Exactly.
And that's something that really inspires me. It seems as if you get to know each person and that personal touch. So even though I don't eat hot dogs, every now and again I would buy one because I want to support you.
I appreciate that.
And I'm glad that you give me this opportunity to talk with you.
Thank you very
Thank
much. I
you.
appreciate everyone who comes here.
Awesome. Thank you. According to the Ibis World Report, over the past 5 years, the street vendors industry found an opportunity in the pandemic which prompted welcomed advancements and innovations in mobile food sale. Street vendors have benefited from serving high quality food at budget prices amid a ballooning interest in healthy and diverse food choices. COVID-19 forced street vendors to adapt and reinvent their businesses as established food events were cancelled and food traffic dwindled in traditional locations. Vendors targeted residential neighborhoods and leaned on social media to promote their locations and offerings. Sandwiches and burgers reigned supreme among many street vendors thanks to their versatility and adaptability. Competition among street vendors in Canada is shaped by time, convenience, and location. Vendors who can secure a popular spot near office buildings, sporting events, or social events gain an advantage by offering quick, quality meals to a time-constrained consumer base. Market size is projected to increase over the next 5 years. We find this very interesting, particularly in light of recent commotion in Jamaica, where a street vendor was exposed, putting public health at risk, and in fact, the entire street vending operations at risk of being permanently shut down. Maybe Jamaica could look to the Canadian model of street vending for some tips.